Welcome back. Florida's annual legislative session begins next week with lawmakers addressing a number of issues, and one of the top priorities is a House bill that would make texting and driving a primary offense.
ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo joins us live tonight with more details on that. Dwayne?
Well, guys, the state of Florida says that texting is a secondary offense. Law enforcement officers must pull you over for either speeding or illegally changing a lane before they can issue or cite a ticket for that offense. So law enforcement officers are looking for all this to change.
Florida Highway Patrol Trooper Ken Watson has seen it many times before. Distracted drivers texting and driving, getting too close to other cars, endangering the lives of others. He says it's absolutely critical for this bill to be passed.
Any tool that we can have that will help educate the public, it will help us make the roads a little bit safer, is something that we want to see.
Watson points to Florida with having some of the most dangerous roads in the country. According to the federal government, they estimate that texting and other distracted driving killed almost 3,500 people nationally, more than 9 per day, and injured almost 400,000. Political science professor at the New College of Florida, Frank Alcock, says it's an important step for the state to take.
Making it a primary offense, increasing the fine, will open the door to sanctions against this activity, which are needed.
President of the Manatee chapter of the NAACP, Rodney Jones, says given the tragic consequences of texting and driving, it's extremely important that it's passed. But he does have some concerns.
I think the bill could be perceived in some communities, as another opportunity for law enforcement to potentially racial profile.
He says the law will most certainly save lives and believes the majority of area police officers are excellent, but says minority communities are afraid officers would stop mostly black drivers.
A lot of people are viewing it as here's another thing for law enforcement to stop us.
And according to Alcock, there needs to be clarity on enforcing the law if it passes.
It's going to be very important for law enforcement, FDLE in particular, to release protocols with respect to how they intend to implement this law.
Watson looking at it from a standpoint of saving lives.
I don't want the public to think that this is just another opportunity for them to be pulled over and cited. This is an opportunity for you to drive safely.
Now, Florida is one out of 7 states that does not allow police to pull someone over just for texting. Scott, Jacqueline, back to you.
All right, Dwayne, thank you. The issue of red light cameras once again on the agenda in the city of Bradenton. At a workshop this morning, council members listened to a presentation about a new red light camera program called Intelligent Collision Preemption System. Now, under this new system, if a car runs a light as it's turning from yellow to red, the system will lock all the lights in red to give extra seconds for the car to make it through the intersection. This is supposed to cut down on crashes. The city suspended the use of red light cameras in 2016 while looking for a new vendor. In Venice, major road work may slow down some drivers, especially those heading out to one of Venice's most popular attractions.
In 2016, Venice voters approved a $30 million project to resurface aging roadways in the city. That includes most of the roads in the downtown area and the one heading out to the jetty. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us with more on this story. Christopher?
Good evening. This is Milan Avenue. This is one of 18 different roadways in the city of Venice that are about to be ripped up and resurfaced. The construction company has been hired to work on the multiple sections. Drivers of these roadways will, over the next 2 weeks, see major changes, and they may see some delays. In total, 70 lane miles are being resurfaced. That means roads with lanes going in both directions. One of the most trafficked roads in the city is the Esplanade. It takes residents and visitors out to one of Venice's hottest spots, the jetty. The construction company plans to close one lane down at a time and have a crew on site to direct traffic.
First they'll do probably the northbound lane, then they'll switch over to the southbound lane. They'll have flaggers on site to direct traffic around the operation.
Now, once this part of the roadworks is complete, that will mark the halfway point of this long-awaited project. Then the construction companies will make their way off island and continue resurfacing the roads east of the island. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, thank you so much, Christopher, for that update. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office posting this photo on their Facebook page today. Sheriff's deputies say the driver of this truck got very lucky this morning after heavy wind caused a tree to fall between the cab and trailer of his vehicle. Deputies responded to the scene in Gulfgate. The incident will be classified as property damage. Deputies warn as the weather continues to play out here on the Suncoast to keep an eye out for debris and roadway obstructions.
Yeah, that wind is not only strong, but it's cold too,
right.
And it is blowing. I've seen stuff all over the roads and in the neighborhoods, blowing garbage and everything else.
It is pretty chilly out there. Let's
get more on our cold weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Yeah, those winds have been strong today, up to 30 miles an hour, gusts as high as 35 at times as well. And another thing that may be contributing to that tree being down is the fact that Irma went through and a lot of the root structure and some of the trees are still not back to normal. So some of those trees may be leaning still or may not be as secure as they once were before Irma. Snow on the ground. Well, this is one model's forecast or projection of snow on the ground. It is on the ground across parts of North Florida. Maybe not as prevalent as this is indicating right there, up to 3 inches, but nonetheless, it would be on the ground across North Florida, near Lake City, also throughout southeast Georgia. I know there are some people who are thinking about taking their kids up there to see the snow, but be advised that travel is very treacherous throughout this region as a result of the ice storm that blew through earlier before the snow. Get a look at this. This is the low pressure area, which is still intensifying as it works its way up of the Mid-Atlantic coast states right now. Heavy snowfall from Charleston up to Wilmington and places beyond, even near inland areas. Raleigh getting some heavy snowfall there. Well, the advisories are out. A lot of people wondering, should they take care of their sensitive plants tonight? Not so much in Manatee and Sarasota counties or Charlotte counties, but inland counties, yes. And Hardee and Highlands County are under a freeze warning. That's a freeze warning, and they're going to see a duration of freezing temperatures from about 3 a.m. up to around 6. Now, we are under a wind chill advisory for the entire viewing area. And wind chills are going to be dangerously cold. You can get hypothermia very quickly if you are exposed to the elements for a period of time now. In the inland areas, we'll see wind chills up to 25 to 30 degrees beginning 10 o'clock tonight, continuing until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And there'll be more advisories for us tomorrow night. We'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. We are now in full season here on the Suncoast, and as people up north struggle with snow shovels and ice scrapers, there are many things we like to show off to our visitors here. In the spotlight tonight, the Sarasota Orchid Society Show. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more.
The beautiful flowers and plants that grow all around us here are one of the things that make the Suncoast such a great place to live. And the ability to grow orchids ourselves is one of the great joys of living on the Suncoast. It's a hobby, even a passion for many people. There are 4 orchid societies in our area, and they're showing off some of their most beautiful orchids at the Sarasota Orchid Society Show. It's themed this year?
The Love of Orchids. It's our 61st annual orchid show. It's the largest one in the Southwest area.
And it's going to be huge.
The auditorium is approximately 100,000 square feet and allows us to bring 10 orchid vendors, 5 orchid suppliers, 2 artists, and other people that deal in orchids.
There'll be about 1,000 orchids grown by members of local orchid societies in Sarasota, Manatee, and Venice, as the societies compete with each other for prizes. And then there'll be another 3,000 to 4,000 orchids for sale by vendors. It'll give you a small taste of how many types of orchids there are in the world.
There are approximately I would say close to 200,000 different species of orchids with well over 1 million cultivated hybrids.
You can learn many more fascinating facts about orchids and learn how to grow them yourself. Several classes will be offered each day at the show, and you can be sure any orchids you buy here will grow here.
The orchid growers that we have coming in from Florida all grow their orchids here, and they would never sell anything that could not be grown here.
So you can take some of these beautiful flowers home and grow them yourself. For the Love of Orchids at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium, Saturday from 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Beautiful shot there. Thank you, Linda. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight.
Nissan engineers are getting closer to sharpening reaction times on the roads, the new technology that could detect what a driver is going to do behind the wheel.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you. Watch ABC7 wherever you are, on our live stream, on mysuncoast.com, on the ABC7 My Suncoast app, powered by the Eye Associates, providing sight for life, featuring traffic maps and live radar, dining with recipes, and My Suncoast Restaurant Guide. Visit mysuncoast.com, click on the Apps tab to download the ABC7 My Suncoast app for Apple and Android.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
In Washington, senators returned to Capitol Hill today after their holiday break. Vice President Mike Pence was on hand to swear in 2 new Democratic senators, shrinking Republicans' control in the Senate. ABC's Arlette Saenz joins us with more from Washington.
Please raise your right hands and repeat.
Today, the Senate became a little less Republican.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies?
Vice President Mike Pence swore in 2 new Democrats. Al Franken's replacement in Minnesota, Tina Smith, seen with former Vice President Walter Mondale. And Alabama's Doug Jones, joined by his close friend, former Vice President Joe Biden. After beating Roy Moore in Alabama, Jones's arrival shrinks the GOP majority to 51 Republicans. The GOP hopes to defend that majority in the midterm elections. 3 Republican heavyweights are retiring. Senator Orrin Hatch's retirement opens the door for a potential run by former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, who now lives in Utah. Romney has been a frequent critic of President Trump and could be a potential foe in the Senate.
Mr. Vice President, should Mitt Romney run for Senate?
Thank you, everybody.
Congress is now racing to avert a government shutdown before funding expires January 19th. Also on their agenda, working on protections for the so-called Dreamers. The president ended the DACA program in September, telling lawmakers to find a fix.
He asked us to do that months ago, and we have done nothing. Nothing. I believe by January 19th, we need to take this up as one of the critical issues on our agenda.
President Trump dispatched 2 White House officials to Capitol Hill today to meet with congressional leaders. Budget Director Mick Mulvaney and Legislative Affairs Director Mark Short told reporters they were there to strike a budget deal. Arlette Steins, ABC News, Washington.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, Snowmageddon heading up on the northeast now. Right now, heavy snow in the Carolina coast, spreading off to the northeast as a model projection. Near Boston, they could get up to 18 inches of snowfall as this storm will continue to cause havoc all across the northeast over the next 24 to 48 hours. For Florida, it's already moved out, but it's left behind its damage as far as travelers are concerned as a result of the heavy snowfall that we saw and freezing rain. But for us, it's the bitter cold that we can expect here along the west coast of Florida for at least Floridians. Temperatures dropping below freezing, at least it feels that way. It will feel that way late tonight and tomorrow morning. And then the actual temperature will drop below freezing tomorrow night and Friday morning. Here are all the watches and warnings. They're all up across the entire peninsula for that matter, with the exception of the extreme South Florida. For us, that looks like wind chill problem will be the biggest factor tonight. Wind chill advisory in effect until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. We're talking wind chills along the coast right around 30 degrees. And that begins at 10 tonight, continuing until 10 tomorrow morning. Inland areas, it will feel like 25 degrees at times with that wind blowing out of the north and northwest. Now, there are freeze warnings for parts of our viewing area. It's for Highlands and Hardee County in our inland counties. Now, that's until 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then there's a freeze watch in effect for most of our viewing area. You'll notice the coastal locations are not under that watch. Our winds are going to be out of the northwest tomorrow, and with that coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, it will keep things just above freezing here. But I always advise folks if they're close enough to this blue, as you see right here, that they should probably cover their sensitive plants and be on the safe side. Definitely inland areas should do that, as we're expecting freezing temperatures tomorrow night and Friday. Temperature right now 52, the dew point 41. That number will continue to plummet. Winds are out of the northwest at 16. Those winds are expected to stay up too throughout the overnight hours. The high today 57, the low 45 this morning, and 30 the record low set back in 1979. Rainfall, ½ inch of rain at the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport. That was beneficial. We needed the rainfall. As far as temperatures go, already down in the 30s in Jacksonville. It's 50 in Orlando and 66 degrees in Key West. 57, it's cooled down in Miami. And temperatures currently in the low to mid 50s up and down the coast. The water temperature we have to keep an eye on right now at 63 degrees. That's taken at the end of the Venice Pier. Hourly forecast for us tomorrow, temperatures will not warm up much at all, and we'll see some sunshine though. The low clouds will be moving in off the Gulf of Mexico at times too, so we'll look for partly cloudy skies. The storm itself will continue to move away from us. We'll see that northerly push of air right through Thursday and Friday and even into Saturday, so things aren't going to warm up until Sunday afternoon. We'll start to see a chance for temperatures getting close to 70 degrees. As far as the forecast goes, we are anticipating the cold air to stick around here at least for the next several days, but it's 15 in Chicago right now, 4 in Minneapolis. The wind chill minus 13 there in Minneapolis, 1 in Detroit and 1 in Chicago. Well, as far as the forecast goes for boaters, small craft advisory remains in effect throughout the night and tomorrow. And the 7-day forecast calls for cold weather, highs only around 58 tomorrow. And then a chilly start near freezing, at least near the coast, at 34 degrees. And then temperatures gradually getting a little bit warmer as we approach into Sunday, 68 degrees. Another cold front due to arrive. Looks like on Tuesday. With it, it brings a chance for some rainfall, mainly Monday night, Tuesday morning. And then temperatures will not be as extreme behind this next cold front, with highs getting back to more seasonal averages around 70 on Tuesday and Wednesday. Back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Bob. Time now to check your First Alert traffic for the drive home. Other than some normal backups, there is some minor traffic congestion on I-75 near Lakewood Ranch. Scott?
Thanks so much, Jacqueline. It's not so popular right now to suggest lowering your heat in the middle of this cold spell, but we do have some tips to help you stay warm and save some money at the same time. Homeowners can replace incandescent bulbs with LED retrofit kits in the ceiling. They'll keep warm air from seeping out of the house. Also consider weatherproofing your doors and windows. And remember that lowering the thermostat just 1 degree can save you 5% on heating costs. Many companies are working on cars that drive themselves using computers. Nissan engineers, however, are working to put your brain back into the process. They're researching technology that uses brainwave sensors to detect what a driver intends to do in the next fraction of a second. In a human-driven car, the so-called brain-to-vehicle technology could shorten reaction times. Sensors could detect the driver's intention to slam on the brakes, but the brakes that could then be applied immediately, even before the driver's foot has touched the brake pedal. Nissan says it hopes to have some version of this technology ready for real-world use in 5 to 10 years. American and Southwest airline employees are getting bonuses. Both airlines will benefit from the lower corporate income tax rates in the new tax bill, allowing them to give $1,000 bonuses to employees. American Airlines employees will get their bonuses sometime in the first quarter. Southwest will make the payments next Monday. And Southwest has also exercised options to buy more new jets from Boeing while delaying orders for some others.
Spotify is facing a $1.6 billion lawsuit accused of violating U.S. copyright laws. Wixen Music Publishing claims Spotify used more than 10,000 songs without a license. Those songs include Tom Petty's Free Falling and works by artists like The Doors, Neil Young, and Missy Elliott. U.S. law requires that 2 copyrights for every song, one for the actual recording and one for the composition. The music streaming giant is also facing 3 other lawsuits and already paid $43 million to settle a similar lawsuit back in May. Well, supermarket chains in 12 states, including Florida, are pulling frozen biscuit products off their shelves after a recall over possible Listeria contamination. Chains including Food Lion, Piggly Wiggly, and Lowe's Foods are also offering refunds and urging customers to return affected products. T. Marzetti Company warned that Listeria can lead to fatal infections in young children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems. No illnesses have been reported in connection with those recalled items, so certainly want to check your fridge.
And we've got your entertainment news next.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Bang Gates and Dramus. And here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Sarasota Institute of Lifetime Learning begins its 47th season on Monday, January 8th in Sarasota, Venice, and Lakewood Ranch. Meet Jamie Bernstein, music lecturer and daughter of Leonard Bernstein, on Monday, March 19th, and Hedrick Smith, Pulitzer Prize-winning former reporter for the New York Times, on Thursday, February 15th. 72 global issues lectures by renowned experts, 24 musical conversations with great performers. Subscriptions available now. Single event tickets at the door. For more information and to purchase season tickets, visit SILLSarasota.org.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
I owed the IRS $20,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
We saved our home and overcame the most powerful collection agency in the world.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions Now.
Call 1-800-565-7740. That's 1-800-565-7740.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Well, Justin Timberlake is back. The 36-year-old announced Tuesday on Instagram that he's releasing a new album, Man of the Woods, on February 2nd. The first single off the album will be released on Friday. Timberlake shared a video montage of himself exploring the outdoors, featuring cameos from his wife Jessica Biel and their son Silas. He says in the video that the album is inspired by his son, wife, and family.
Actress America Ferrera and her husband, Ryan Piers Williams, are expecting their first child. The couple announcing the news in a New Year's Eve Instagram post. The post included a photo of the couple sporting 2018 New Year's glasses and a onesie reading "Más besos por favor," which means more kisses, please. The pair met 12 years ago at the University of Southern California, and they were married back in 2011.
The Coachella Music Festival announcing the headliners for this year's massive event. Beyoncé, The Weeknd, and Eminem are going to be the top draws this April in the California desert. Beyoncé was scheduled to perform last year, but had to cancel because of her pregnancy. The Weeknd last performed at Coachella in 2012 before he achieved any mainstream success. In 2018 will mark Eminem's first appearance at the festival. Tickets for Coachella, which start at several $100s, go on sale Friday. The event grossed $114 million last year.
Game of Thrones fans will soon be able to display their fandom every time they send some mail. The Royal Mail introducing a series of stamps based on the popular HBO series. 10 stamps feature human characters from the show. 5 others showcase supernatural characters like dragons and giants, as well as objects like the Iron Throne. Some of the stamps will be limited to only 1,500 pieces. The 8th and the final season of Game of Thrones is currently in production, and it can't hit HBO soon enough for fans like myself. It seems like it's going to be, I think we have to wait until 2019 before that.
And I feel like those stamps are going to be flying off the shelves. I mean, you got to get your hands on those as soon as you can.
Some of them you may want to send to enemies, like some of the bad characters.
There you go. There you go. Well, stay with us. We'll be right back with more news and weather.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile, and in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.